Alright, today we're going to solve systems of equations by the substitution method. Substitution method works best when you have two equations, for example y equals 3x and x plus y equals 380. Okay, when I have two equations like this, which are like here, because I know what the value of y is, I'm going to use one of the equations and substitute it in the place of one of the variables to solve for x, and then use that to then go back and solve for y. So what I'm going to do in this case here is I'm going to say, because I know that y equals 3x, I'm going to plug that value into there. And I'm going to say x plus 3x, because that's the value of y, equals 380. Now I'm going to combine those together. 3x plus x is 4x, so 4x equals 380. Then I'll divide both sides by 4 to find out that x equals, in this case here, 95. Now that I know that x equals 95, I can plug that back up into my original equation, this one here, and say that y is going to be equal to 3 times 95, because that's the value of x. And 3 times 95 is equal to 285. So in this case, now I have my solution for my systems of equations here. I have an x and I have a y value, and so that becomes my solution for my equation 95 and 285, my x value and my y value. So that's using substitution. You're using one equation and substituting it into the other equation to solve for one variable, and then using that answer to go back to the original to solve for the other variable. That's the idea of what we're doing today. Let's do some examples here down below before you jump into your own work, unless of course you already get it. So here I have y equals 4x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 4x and I'm going to put it into this equation right there. So I can say that 4x equals x plus 3. Now I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So 3x equals 3. Divide both sides by 3 so that x equals 1. Now that I know that x equals 1, I can plug that back into this equation here and say that y equals 4 times 1, or y equals 4. So now I have two variables, y equals 4, x equals 1, and so my solution for this system equation is 1, 4. Alright, let's try another one. Let's try number 2. So here we have y equals negative 2x. We're going to take that value there, we're going to plug in it and substitute it in for that y value there. So negative 2x equals negative x minus 2. So let's add x to both sides. Negative 2x plus an x equals just simply negative x, which equals negative 2. Now I don't want to have a negative value here, so I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 1. Negative 1 times negative x is x, and negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. So now I have a value for x equals 2, and I'm going to plug that back into my original equation. So we'll say y equals negative 2 times positive 2, which equals negative 4. So then I have a y value and an x value, so together we have 2, negative 4 for my solution for those two equations using substitution. Let's try one more example here. Okay, we'll take our 8x, we're going to plug it into that equation right there. So we have 8x equals x plus 14. We'll subtract x from both sides, so 7x equals 14. We'll divide both sides by 7, so that x equals 14 divided by 7 is 2. So there's one value. Let's plug that into our first equation here. So that y equals 8 times x is 2, so y equals 16. So now I have two values. We have 2, 16 for my solution for those two equations using substitution. that's the idea of what you're going to be doing today. Okay, you're using the value of one that's given, substituting into the other equation, solving for x or solving for y, and then using that to solve back for the other one, the other value there. Okay, so you're going to work on those on your own. Good luck. I'll see you back here to check them out in just a few minutes. Alright, here we go. Solving, we're going to be doing all 1 through 9. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the 5x right here. Rewrite that as 5x equals x minus 8. Subtract x from both sides. So I have 4x equals minus 8. Divide both sides by 4. And x equals negative 2. I'm going to plug that back into that equation there. So that y equals 5 times negative 2. Y equals negative 10. So my solution for the first one is going to be negative 2 comma negative 10 for number 1. Number 2, let's plug that guy in right there. So we have 3x equals negative x minus 4. I'm going to add x to both sides. So that goes away. So 4x equals negative 4. Divide both sides by 4. And x equals negative 1. I'm going to plug that value into there, so 3 times negative 1 gives you a negative 3 for y. So we're going to say negative 1 comma negative 3. Number 3, I'm going to plug the 12x right there. So 12x equals x plus 11. Subtract x, and we have 11x equals 11. Divide both sides by 11, and x equals 1. We're going to plug the 1 into there, so y equals 12 times 1. So y equals simply 12. So we have 1 comma 12 for the solution for those two equations. Whoops, 1 comma 12. Number 4. Number 4, we're going to plug negative 6x into right here. And we have negative 6x equals x minus 14. Going to subtract x from both sides, so negative 7x equals negative 14. Divide both sides by negative 7, and x equals a positive 2. We'll plug that into the second equation. So y equals negative 6 times a positive 2, or y equals negative 12. So our solution becomes 2 comma negative 12. For number 5. Alright, we're going to take the 2x and plug it into there. So we have 2x equals negative x plus 9. Let's add x to both sides. So we have 3x equals 9. Divide both sides by 3. So x equals 3. I'm going to plug that into that one there. Y equals 2 times 3, or y equals 6. So our solution becomes 3 comma 6. Next one, negative 4. So we have negative 4x equals x plus 15. Subtract x from both sides. We have negative 5x equals 15. Divide both sides by 5, and x, or by negative 5, sorry. So x equals negative 3. Gonna plug that in up there. So we have y equals negative 4 times negative 3, or y equals 12. So we'll have negative 3 comma 12 for our solution for that one. Number 7. Put a 4x right there. So we have 4x equals negative x minus 10. Going to add an x, so 5x equals negative 10. Divide both sides by 5. X equals negative 5 divided by negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. Plug that in right there. Y equals 4 times negative 2. So y equals negative 8. So our solution becomes negative 2 comma negative 8. Next one, I'm going to plug that in right there. So negative 7x equals x plus 24. Subtract x from both sides. So negative 8x equals 24. Divide both sides by negative 8. And x equals negative 3. Plugging that in. Y equals negative 7 times negative 3. So y equals a positive 21. So our solution becomes negative 3 comma 21. And our last one, 8x goes there, so we'll say 8x equals negative x plus 18. We'll add x to both sides, and 9x equals 18. Divide both sides by 9, and x equals 2. Plug that in there, and y equals 8 times 2, or y equals 16. So our solution becomes 2, 16 for the last one there. Alright, there's a lot of solutions by substitutions there. Just takes a while to do it, but once you get the hang of it, not too bad. Hope that helps you out, and we'll see you next time.